Hey, Onion here, continuing our playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Online. We are in 2.4 of A Realm Reborn, and gonna go into Snowcloak. A couple points about Snowcloak. You can do one full big pull in the beginning, get the key from the bear, and then go into the boss. During blizzards, you have to move. Second set, you can pull everything to the barrier, and then go into the boss. And third set, there's a couple tricks I'll show you about running past everything. The very last set has a mage that's summoning, so either stunning or killing quick will stop a summoned dragon from coming. And then depending on the group, a lot of people do die at the end at the boss. But let's see what kind of group we get. All right, thanks for joining. Here we go.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
That took longer than I expected. What news, Onion? So Iceheart is but a pseudonym, not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised, Onion, we may yet turn this situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Oriange have been busy perusing the archives of House Four Temps, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Antecedent. You come to us straight from the archives of House Four Temps. I trust your time there proved fruitful.
Would that it had. Oriange and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins, according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Four Temps. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case, one wonders if it is by circumstance or design.
You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Come viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good.
I think Sarah Merrick might take issue with her methods.
I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it.
Yes, Lord Commander.
You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sarah Merrick. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land, why they took up arms? Against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder?
There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and scripture tells us only so much.
Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure, less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god.
Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman, of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mogul Mog XII, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mogul's guard.
Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have them both in abundance.
Can that truly be all that is required?
My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetherite Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetherite, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second Aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists.
Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Sharlayan may be able to assist us.
I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our Aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly, despite our numbers. Kurthus is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. Good, I knew you would understand. Yu Haas can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work, ours is more pressing.
Alright, pausing it there. That is Snowcloak done. Fast strat. We got it in 12 minutes. Couldn't really have been much better, but it was a decent run. Thanks for joining.